So today's lesson is going to focus on knife skills. We're going to be making a fruit pizza, and the knives we're going to be using are a chef's knife, which is what we've been using all semester, and a paring knife, which is going to be used for the more intricate cuts or delicate fruits, like we're going to be cutting strawberries and kiwi. And what we're going to want to do first is make sure our oven is preheated to 350, and we're going to have sugar cookie dough, and this is already going to be pre-made. You guys have already made cookies throughout the whole entire semester, but we're really trying to focus on knife skills here. So we're going to take our cookie pizza crust and start rolling it out. And the way you want to roll out is you want to start in the center, because if you start at the sides will be so skinny by the end that the middle will take longer to cook. So you want to make sure that you're just evenly rolling it out. Try to get a nice even roll, but what happens sometimes is when it's not perfectly circle is you're not going to get a perfectly circular pizza. So what you can do is take either the top of a bowl or the top of a pot, and you can use your paring knife and just trace around the edges like so. And you want to make sure that your hands are out of the way as well. So this we can set over here, and now we have a nice round pizza crust that we are going to move to our vacation. Okay, so while the cookies are in the oven, the crusts, we're going to get 4 ounces of cream cheese, and that should be softened for you. If not, you can zap it in the microwave to just take the chill out of it. However, it should be softened already. So this is 4 ounces of cream cheese. And then we're going to add vanilla extract to that. It's going to be 1 teaspoon. Make sure it's the little t. So 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar to this. And while one person is mixing this mixture, we are going to have another person, and see how the softness just makes it come together really easily. And while one person is mixing this and getting all the clumps out of this, the other person's going to start slicing the fruit. So while this person's mixing, we want to make sure that all the lumps are out. So you don't want lumpy fruit pizza. All right. So that's all finished. And now we're gonna work on our knife cuts. So I'll start with a banana. You need half of a banana. You can just peel that like normal. And since a banana has an ultimately round shape, that's what we want. We just wanna make uniform cuts. So when you're properly cutting, you wanna make sure that you're not gonna get your fingers chopped off, and you wanna just make even rocking motions. Some of the people I know call this a bear claw, so you wanna make sure that you're going. Okay, so we have our fingers tucked, and what we're doing right now is called a rondelle, and it's a form of slice, and what you really wanna focus on is getting a uniform thickness for all the bananas, because when you take a bite of this cookie, if you're getting a really chunky banana that's 1/2 inch thick and then a really thin banana, texturally that's going to be weird for your mouth. So we have our 1/2 banana sliced. What we're going to do now is slice our mango. So what you want to do for this is stand it up, and there's actually a pit right in the middle of the mango. So you want to run your knife down one side, 2 sides, and if you, like I just got a little bit of the pit right there, you'll be able to feel the pit, and you don't want to eat that because that, number 1, tastes not very good. And number 2, you can kind of see it in there. That's what you don't want to get. So you're gonna take the skin off of these, being very careful. And the knife cut we're gonna practice for these is just a chop. So like I said, for all knife cuts, you want to pretty much get a uniform cut. We'll move that out of the way. But for the chop, we're just going to try to get, you pretty much want to think about this fruit pizza in terms of eating it. So what are you going to want to eat? Do you want giant chunks of things, or just nice, even, uniform bites? So we're going to try to cut it as evenly as possible, But since these aren't perfectly circular or perfectly square fruits, you're gonna get cuts just about like this. So for this recipe, it calls for 1 cup of mango. And we're just gonna continue. Make sure we don't get the skin on there. To just as evenly as possible chop this up. All right, so you are gonna do the mango until we have 1 cup to put on top. You honestly might need a little bit less, just depending on how many you have in your group, because you don't want a big mound of mango on your fruit pizzas. So after that, we are going to cut our strawberries. You wanna make sure that, and we're gonna use our paring knife for this because strawberries are really delicate. You don't wanna smush them. So we're gonna take the tops off because you don't wanna eat leaves. And we are just going to slice them. So again, thinking in terms of how we've sliced the rest of the fruit, we probably wanna make these just about as thick as the bananas were. And you're just gonna lightly run your knife through these. And paring knives are extra sharp, so they will slice through the strawberries easily. Alright, so we have some of those cut up. Like I said, you guys are gonna do 5. So the last thing we're going to cut up is our kiwi. And an easy way to do this is to actually take a paring knife, slice it in half, and then spoon it out with a spoon. So we have a teaspoon here. We have teaspoons and soup spoons in the room, but we're definitely gonna wanna use a teaspoon because the soup spoon's gonna be almost as big as the kiwi itself. So what you do is you take the spoon and you try to go as close as you can to the skin. And then you can just easily scoop it out. So this one, we're getting stuck a little, so what you can do is use your paring knife to just cut that end off, throw that out. And what we're gonna do for the kiwi is a brunoise, which is 1/8 of an inch cube. So you can just run your knife along that, which is pretty much what we did with the mango. And then the kiwi ends up being like this. We're gonna do that with the other side of the kiwi. See how I'm running the spoon right along this and it just peels right off. Okay. So any little parts of the skin on the kiwi, like I have a little bit left over here, you can just use your paring knife. And then what you can do is if it's really thick, is you can cut it directly in half. And then try to get those nice 1/8 inch cubes again. Be careful of your fingers. You wanna kinda curl them in so you're not cutting them, like I said previously. And now we have those nice uniform cubes for you. And what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna wash my hands and then we're gonna assemble the pizzas. Okay, so my oven timer just went off. So I'm gonna take these out of the oven, being very careful. Make sure that if you're next to classmates, you say hot pan. Close the oven doors, get rid of the oven mitts. And we're gonna start decorating. So you all should have enough of our sauce for the fruit pizza. You're going to take, you're gonna equally divide it and spread it on the pizzas. So you're gonna kind of use estimation skills to make sure that each one has an equal amount of our fruit pizza sauce. And then what you're gonna do is spread it out from the middle again, just like we learned when we were rolling these out, to get an even sauce. And you guys are each going to be decorating your own, and even though it's not the main focus of this lesson, which is knife skills, we want to make sure that our presentation is also nice. You guys get to be creative with this. So it's a nice little way to let your creativity out. Alright. And I don't know about you guys, but I like to have my sauce pretty much to the edge of the pizza because you want to get sauce in every single bite. Okay, so what we will do now is, so I'm going to start with the strawberries in the middle, and I'll make a cute little design like this. You can even stack another row of them if you want. Like so. Then we can put some bananas around the edge. And you guys can do this however you want. Let your little creative hearts out. I'm just making it like this because this is the way I would like to eat it. So then I'll do 2 different corners of kiwi and mango. Stack these up here. And then I'm just gonna put a banana in the middle to finish it off and make it symmetrical. All right, so there's our fruit pizza. Make sure you guys clean up, follow sanitation practices, and have a good day.